Welcome, everyone. We are already dancing. We are already dancing with Leonora while dancing, which we were just joking sounds a little bit like Leonora while dancing. And yeah, Yari is here. Say hello, Yari.
Hey everyone, happy to dance with you.
Say that again.
Happy to dance with you.
Me
Happy
too.
to dance with you as well.
Good morning, Eleonora. Um, Yeah, so we are going to hear about your yesterday, what your day in dance, a day in dance with your day that happened yesterday. What day was it yesterday? It was a Wednesday? No,
A
today is a
Tuesday.
Wednesday. It was a Tuesday.
Mhm.
Yeah, do you want to start us off, Yari? First question of the day.
Aha! All right. Um, I think I want to a little general question. Which what does it stays in your dance now from yesterday?
Mm, a
I have a lot
challenging
of
one.
the last thing I did was almost the last thing was to be in the water. So I feel I have a lot of softness.
Hmm.
Mm.
And also it was a long, long day, so the tiredness is still with me.
Well, let's get started. Where did your day start yesterday?
My day started in my bed, in my home, in Bredäng in Stockholm. I live in a collective, so it started with me hearing other people in the house waking up. And yeah,
So
I
no,
sleep in a
no
small
alarm.
room.
You had
No,
no
no
alarm.
alarm. No, I
Mm.
was on you could say a day off, or I was working in my office, which is my computer, and having office hours. No alarm. I woke up hearing other people talking a little, and then they went to work, and then I got up and opened my curtains. This is the first thing I do. It's completely dark in my room, so I opened. And when I opened also the door so that the air comes in. And then I went into the shower. I think yesterday I didn't. Normally, I always look at my phone, which feels not so nice, but that's how it is. And then yesterday, I think I went directly into the shower instead
Oh,
and focused.
wow.
Mhm.
Oh, well, we haven't changed, like in quantum physics, we haven't changed by observing the day. Were you already thinking about that? Or maybe I should not do the phone thing. Was there any sort of attempt to change the day?
No, I think it was mainly that I knew I had a lot of things on my list that I wanted to do,
Mm,
and I had seen already it was 9:30,
okay.
so I think I had seen that it was a good moment, but not too early. And then I thought, okay, but maybe if I need to get all these things done, I need to get started, and I always get started with a shower.
Yeah, he loves a shower.
We
Do you? Yeah.
yes, we have always this question maybe or like how do you relate to the shower as because as a it's one of the first moment where we really get the body activated, the movement
Mhm.
activated in a more maybe bigger way.
Yeah, I think for
And
me it's also this. I realized I thought about it 2 days ago that it's so seldom that I'm not doing anything. Like
Mm,
this feeling of either I am sitting with my computer or I'm listening to music and walking, or I'm using my phone and having my phone or talking with people. And I feel the shower is one of the few moments where I'm not doing anything. Or I'm showering, of course, but it feels like you don't have any distractions and you're just there with your thoughts.
Mm.
And I am missing being more with my thoughts. So when I realized that, I was like, maybe I should have more stare into the nothingness moments. I haven't had many of them.
It's such a like a craving, I think, of our time. This like desire for boredom or staring into the nothing, and yet is seemingly evasive. Like, or maybe people who do it, they don't talk about it because why would you talk about it if you're doing it? Like maybe they disappear into this beautiful hedonistic space of appreciating the body and being there and staying there. But did you find this at all yesterday? Like when you were in the shower, did you have a moment of, or was there a rush? I feel like there's a tempo to the
No,
day
I
already to
think,
get going.
yeah, I have this. I don't know how much my water bill is happy about this, but I have this feeling when I'm in the shower that there is no time. And I'm happy that it feels like it always takes around the same time. I'm not there more than 15 minutes, but it still feels like I can let myself wander in thoughts and just be there. And without having the pressure of thinking smart or thinking everything I should think in my head. So I feel, yes, it is this feeling of landing in the body and landing with my thoughts. It's also, I often when I get into the shower, it's like a nice distraction because it's like a sensorial experience that comes from outside, then you're just standing there and doing your routine. Your body likes routine, so you don't think about how you put soap on yourself. You don't think about what you do because your body just does it without you processing it. And then I feel it's a nice way also to see, okay, but what is the thought that is there when I let the thoughts just be free? Is it my to-do list or is it something else? And then when I end the shower, I have this scraper that I need to scrape my walls with. And that I also really like. It's like I'm scraping like away what happened in there in some kind of way that it's like, okay, now I'm ready for the day. And I really feel I cannot be ready unless I have had the time also to scrape all the water down and be like, okay, now we go.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's something like for me, there's something similar in dancing as well. Like I return to the body, I return to the habitual, and I find a way to meditate with it, be with thought, be with something like this.
Yeah, it sounds also a way for you to see what is there, but also to follow movement, to follow sort of, no, instead of wandering and yeah, it's thank you. Also, I love the scratching, the cleaning in the end, almost like it's a real warm up. Now you're ready. Like we spoke a few times about a shower as a warm up.
Yeah, I also have become addicted to, and I always start with a warm shower and then I end it with a cold shower. And that works better than coffee for me. It's really like, okay, but then I can't be awake. I don't, yeah. Coffee doesn't wake me up in the same way.
All right, but so yesterday, what happens now, or what happened? Did you do the
after
cold
the
shower?
shower.
You did the cleaning?
Yeah, I did the cleaning and then I probably I always, scrunch my hair and dry my hair. I I have simple routines, but the ones I have feels like preparing me. Take clothes on. So clothes are a really sensorial experience for me as well. I could never choose them the day before. It's a lot about, okay, but which type of movement do I need to do today, and what feels comfortable, and do I need to sit down a lot, or do I need to stand up, and
So is there a sense of like looking at the diary in a way, or like considering, okay, what is the agenda for the day?
yeah, definitely. And I also scroll through my to-do list when I need to choose, or like try to like, and so it's still a preparation in some kind of way, but it's also, I could, yeah, it has become a part of my work in I think clothes affect a lot how I can move in my body and what is available. So it differs a lot if I know I'm teaching that day, or if I know that I'm more in a movement way, or if I need to sit on a train because I need to travel a lot, then I have something else on.
I feel like it begs the question, what did you choose yesterday?
I was not moving so much, and it was warm, so I had a skirt, a jean skirt, and a blue top, and then I had something above it because it's so cold in the subways and stuff in Stockholm. So a white thing above it, and then I had shorts underneath because you never know, like maybe you need to take the skirt off and then you need to move around. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love the preparedness of it, and the sort of matter of fact, and how that sort of also shapes the possibilities, and it moves with the aesthetic as well, the desire for denim maybe, and so cool. And then yeah, I hear that perhaps we'll be on a tube train later today.
Yeah.
Does it happen that you change clothes more than once in your day, like, or
No.
you're like, okay, no.
No, but I think it's about this preparedness. Like I often have chosen well, or I know I know what I need to do enough. But I'm always the person that has an extra layer in the bag, so I can always take more on. Yeah,
Or take a layers off, I guess, as well.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, layer. It's the motto, right?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and after that, I think I had breakfast. I had No, I didn't have breakfast. I drank some water and then I just went out of the house because I had things to do. And then I was like, I need to get started, and then I will get some breakfast on the way if I'm hungry. Yeah.
Wow, you're so from the shower, you're dressed, a glass of water, and then wow, okay.
Yeah.
And what are you greeted by, and like sensorially, like it's quite a morning. It's maybe 10 o'clock now.
Yeah, it is. I think sensorially there is warm, but I have tiles in my home and in my kitchen, so there is always some cooling effect, you could say. And everybody went away at that time, so I was in silence, and I didn't. Yeah, there wasn't so much time at home, so I think I put on my headphones and then I went out, and then I had searched for one of your other episodes because I was like, oh, I need to see what I'm getting into. So I put on the episode with Sarah that you have done, Sarah Mike.
Yes.
And it was so interesting because I put it on and then I was just standing outside of my door and didn't understand if it had worked or not because it was so silent in the beginning. And then I realized you are moving, but I could not see it on YouTube. Like I could not see the three screens. And it was so fascinating because I put it on the middle and I was like, oh, I can hear them. Then I just put it from the beginning. I am like, I'm guessing they're moving. Okay, I will start walk now. It was fun. And there was a little bit of breeze, I remember. Some wind. And
This
then
is
I was
beautiful.
walking and listening until the subway. I have like it takes me 13 minutes to walk to the subway here. And it's a road I walk every day. So I could do it with eyes closed, I feel.
It's a long
And know
walk.
all the curbs. Yeah. And it really feels nice because then it becomes it's almost an hour walk a day. Or like it's half an hour when you go back and forth. And it
Yeah.
feels like a good warm-up as well. Like I feel it's nice that even in the winter I am at least half an hour outside because I have to walk there and then the walk home. Then I have more time, but then you are sure, you know. And when I studied, I had like half an hour there and then half an hour to the school, and then it was an hour outside in the winter.
But wait, what are you walking through? Is it woodland or is it a urban area or what?
No, it like the first part is a little bit of a play, not a playground, but a grass area.
Yeah.
Where there is like, but it's with asphalt on it. But then it's an urban area, like high houses. I live in a house, so we live between other villas, but it's pretty close to the road. And then when you come to the subway, Breding Centrum is quite, a centrum. There is shops and everything. And then I came up to the subway station, and then I was standing there listening. And then I looked around and then I saw a colleague, like a dance colleague. And it was so fun because I was listening to Sarah. This person knows Sarah as well. And then I went up to her. I know, like, we are also friends and she lives in Breding. And it was really fun that I haven't seen her in months. And then she was there. So we took the subway together. I needed to go and pick up my passport because it's done. I have a Danish passport.
Yeah. Are you going to the Danish embassy or the police
Yes.
station or yeah? Okay.
No, the Danish embassy, which is located close to Opera. So in the city center. And then we sit there on the subway and talk about work, which happens to me so much. And I love it to meet people and talk about what are we doing. And it's so seldom that you have so many friends that you talk work with them. I realize more and more.
Yeah. This is getting quite meta. I kind of like it. So you were listening to me and Yari talking to Sarah about work in a way, or dancing and her day, which was work and dance. And then you're on your way, you meet someone from dance and work, and you're discussing with them work and dance. And now we are discussing you discussing dance and work. Do you remember anything that came up? Was there a center to the conversation, or was there a topic, or was there something that you could share to give us a flavor?
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot about updating each other on what we have been doing. So it was a lot about her telling what she has been up to and me as well. We talked a lot about, right now I'm arranging a course in Stockholm that will start in the fall. And we were talking a lot about the collaborations that needs to be in place to organize such a thing. And that it's so clear how the new cuttings on culture funding has affected our possibilities to collaborate with these organizations. So it was a lot about that, and a little bit of frustration. It wasn't a happy, jolly conversation. It was a little bit of a I'm actually so happy that I've met you because I'm frustrated about this thing right now, and it's so interesting that It's so interesting also when you work freelance in a way, you have vacations set in a different way than other people. And right now, even if I have been so prepared on the fact that people go on vacation, so I have been wanting to fix things before that, but it's still so strange that everybody will go on vacation in 5 days. You know, it feels like all the organization will shut down now for, yeah, and doesn't have the time to tend to things. But that's the way it works. And it has been nice. We talked both a little bit about past and future, and just sat there on the subway. Sometimes I also think that it's so nice that other people hear these type of conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
there was
I
people
don't think
around, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. And not everybody. I was thinking, I always notice who has headphones on and who doesn't. And like, not that that means that they are listening, but I have a hope sometimes that they are listening
Mm.
because it feels a little bit more, I don't know, connected. And yeah, I was hoping somebody else was also listening and getting a little bit frustrated
Okay.
about cultural funding.
Did you speak about holidays? Did you speak about, oh, will you go to holidays to like, will you get some time off? Did you speak about
Mm.
actually
Yeah, we have
leisure?
spoken. Yeah, I have also already, like, have just been on holiday. I was away for a week, but it was definitely also like, oh, but will you have some rest that we talk with each other about that? But it's also so fun because I've been away for a week and not more. Like and the rest will be a little bit like halfway, you know, maybe working half a day and then being on rest the other half of the day.
Mm.
Of course, I could choose to do more, but right now it's not, yeah, what I have prioritized, you could say. Or I prioritize my rest a lot. Let me say it like that. But I haven't prioritized the 5 weeks holiday in a row.
Mm. It is interesting, isn't it? Like, as freelancers, these meetings we have, because we're not meeting regularly, but we have like such a strong support and affinity to each other because because we're not meeting as regularly as maybe other people who work at the same place,
Yeah.
and yeah, our catch up becomes quite it's quite important. I sometimes it feels like networking, you know, like there's this and this and this and this, but it's like integral to our community to support each other and you're right, like that precarity and trying to express it and yet also like the intensity of it, listening as a practice, something that we try to do communally and like sort of societally as a purpose within society, a practice of listening to our bodies, to each other, um, and yeah, and how that challenges things, and yeah, at the same time, we're in the rhythm of society, but also at the same time, yeah, I'm not saying anything, but I just love all the thoughts that are coming up by imagining this little meeting and then you're straight into bureaucracy at the passport office.
Yeah.
Like the
And
reality of the
also, yeah,
situation.
exactly. But it was fun because she was also on her way to work just in town with her computer. So we just agreed that I was going to the passport office and then back and meet her again, and we could work together instead of being at HR cafe. Yeah.
Wow.
So it
The
was really nice.
coincidence of it as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. So I went and picked up my passport. That was really fast. And also, but it's also an like I love walking around. Both this like I love walking around with openness, like and see what is around me. But I also really love having music in my ears, like having my headphones on and just going on a path and have music.
Mm.
So did you
So
have
that
music
felt
on
really
then
good.
after you left your
Yeah,
colleague?
yeah, exactly. Because then I put Sarah on again, or your interview with Sarah, and then I started feeling a little bit biased because I was like, I don't want it tomorrow to be a conversation about like
Yeah.
I had so many things that I wanted to comment on, like be a part of. I was like, I maybe put this here so that I don't think about that tomorrow, and then I can catch up another time with that episode. So I put music and went to the embassy with music and like a warm up, or some kind of
Yeah, it's also a bit
that
stage.
you
I mean,
have.
also like performance. Like you are having your huge
Yeah.
moment of art, while other people around you don't have idea what you're going through.
Mm.
Which kind of music were you listening?
No, exactly. I think I could find it, but it was an old upbeat
Ah,
tune, a little bit funky, if I remember correctly. But it was, I want to say 80s, but I'm not sure. I need to. I
Yeah,
have my
please find the
streaming
details.
music streaming here.
I mean, it's
I
also.
think the first one was this like Invisible Touch from Genesis.
Oh, wow.
That was, and then the other one I can't remember, but I remember this like, oh, this is what I am in right now. So that felt good.
No, I love that. I love that. And like, yeah, that connection to music and dancing. It's beautiful. And walking, the rhythm, the pace, the contact with other people, that hiddenness, that secret sort of,
Mm.
and yet known as well, like you say, like looking for people on the train who have headphones on or who don't, like what are they listening to? What rhythms are they
Mm.
participating in or feeling or listening to? Yeah, so cool.
But
All
also
right.
preparation for a strong formality of the passport. I'm also thinking that it's such a huge performance to pick up a passport in terms of rituals of preciseness and disconnectedness because the
But
reason.
yeah, definitely. At the same time, it's so fun because I feel the Danish embassy, it's this weird limbo of privilege of having also a Danish passport in Sweden. Then it's like you come in and I don't feel estranged. I don't feel I'm kept on a distance. It's really like I push the button like a speaker, and then there is a Danish voice asking me in Danish. Also, I am in the middle of Stockholm asking me in Danish, yeah, hello, how can we help you? And then me answering, oh, I need to pick up my passport. Yeah, come in. And then I come in, and then there is people in a queue that let me come forward, but there is like a small office, two people. They're like, oh, but if you only need to pick it up, just go forward. And everybody is speaking in Danish. And then I get my passports like this, and they say, please check it. We don't want to have made a mistake. And that also put like the power in my hands in some kind of way. Like there is no, and that is really a strange situation. I really don't think a lot of people have this experience when they pick up a passport. And
Yeah,
that feels
yeah,
also crazy. That
yeah.
I then check it and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And then we all say, have a good day to each other and go away again. I was in there 3 minutes, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And because I already paid for it when I yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
ordered
it's,
it.
it's it's so interesting also hearing where all those boundaries are, like how
Mm,
your identity is formed through the language that you're speaking, and then like yeah, the codes, the etiquette, and then the physical passport itself, and then exactly as you say,
mm,
like that transference of authority of like, could you check it? Who has legitimacy over who can name what, and what does it
mm.
support and what does it not support? And also just the embassy as a building, right? Like
Yeah.
it has this gatekeep kept vibe, but it's also this super porous building if you fit the right codes that are sort of articulated in that conversation at the doorbell. Yeah,
exactly.
Wow. Mm.
And also, I feel sometimes it's so fascinating. I have thought so much about that I cannot grasp why embassies needs to be in such central and rich positions. Like it's so much money going through the fact that they have these offices there. It's the same with the I'm also Italian as well. It's the same with the Italian embassy. That's a palace in the middle of Stockholm. I feel it's so crazy. But that's that's a long conversation. But yeah.
Yeah, but the Italian, though, I mean, the office is in the former wooden storage of the palace. So it's not that you go inside a palace. You just go into the wooden storage of the palace to pick up your passport and ID.
Yeah.
So it's so, but on the other side, I'm interested about because the Danish embassy is really in front of the Royal Ballet Opera, actually in front of the entrance of artist entrance. And I wonder if somehow entering or coming out from there, what was this relation with the huge building of the Royal Opera?
I don't have a huge relation to the opera, and I think it's because I've been in the building once in my time in Stockholm, and I don't even remember what I was looking at. Oh, I think it was a ballet piece that I was invited to look at through my education. I have studied at Stockholm's University of the Arts, a program that you know as well, and we were invited there and could come in. Some part of me, I don't have a dance relation to opera at all, because what I have been practicing have been really far away from the type of dances practiced in the opera. But it's also fascinating because I have a little bit of a relation to that, because now they are renovating it. And part of the renovation makes so that they are using rooms at Musikaliska, which is another place in Stockholm. And Musikaliska in Stockholm is really close to one of the only scenes where you have folk dancing and folk music in Stockholm. So now I have a much closer relation to it, because now it's like they are neighbors in this process. And then suddenly I have had it much closer than otherwise. But that I feel is, yeah. So no, I don't have a huge relationship to the opera.
I'm sorry, I have to ask you another relationship, because there is a church also in front.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's quite big. How is that like? Did you think about that church? Did you notice the church?
I saw it. I don't think I'm pretty used to having churches around, also by my upbringing in Italy. But I also, right, there is churches in every city. I'm fascinated about big buildings that doesn't have floors. Like I have a huge love for this, like monumental buildings that looks like one building when you look at them from outside. I love this feeling of feeling small. I don't have the same feeling when it's like a floor building where there is a lot of windows and people living. That just gives me this claustrophobia feeling. But churches or I have it sometimes also with this monumental Roman buildings where you have these columns, this feeling of, oh, if I was going in there, there would be so many meters to the ceiling. Gives me a lot of freedom of mind in some kind of way. So no, I didn't thought about it at that time, but this is a little bit my relationship with churches. I'm not religious myself, but I've always loved being inside these rooms where there is space for thought.
Like in the shower.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's wonderful.
Definitely.
How the little intimate space can create as much as a big the yeah.
And I also think spaces affect my body is and the possibility it has for movement, both in thought and movement, like moving around, is so affected by the spaces I'm moving through.
Mm.
It for me it would never not matter.
Yeah. Okay, but then what space are we going to now?
We are going back to to this person that I've met. We have agreed on where we should meet, which is close to Maria Torget. So I'm going back through this really big buildings that because between the embassy and Sergel Torg, which is the central square in Stockholm where you have the subway, then it's only this business hotels. This is what you're going
Mm.
through. So all the people I have around is people that have suits on, and actually, I don't know if we should say here, but it was so fun because it was a lot of people that had a badge on, and I was
Mhm.
really wondering what they were doing.
Mm.
And and it was fun also in relation to your church question because and then and they were really welcoming each other. I have almost never seen so many people out on the streets in this situation. And then I read what was written on the badge, and it was the International Convention for Eternal Happiness.
Wow. Eternal
And
happiness.
yeah, and I looked it up, and it is an international convention for Jehovah's Witnesses, and it moves around. But it was so interesting. This I really couldn't understand what it was in the beginning. I needed to Google it because I couldn't guess it. And then so it really felt like, oh, there is a lot of people that are normally not here in these spaces. But then I had my direction on and went through Sarjeltorget, through the people also there. It's fun. I love this energy that there is sometimes in summer where you feel that half the people around you are working and half the people are on vacation.
Mm.
That you're like moving through these bodies that have like a lot of them are really relaxed and you feel they have nowhere else to be and or nowhere else they should be and then there is these people that are having their work and turn on or at least have this sense of direction in some kind of way. So I went back on the subway and there I took one line until Maria Torget and I went off and I think I walked 5 minutes from the subway until where we were gonna meet and my friend
And
was having yeah.
is this a place where you tend to work, or is this where they were mostly
I
working?
think
Like,
none of us have worked there so much before.
mm,
I normally, when I work from my computer, I normally either work home or I am at a library. I love being at
mm,
libraries. It's the same that you have space for your thoughts in
yeah,
the
especially
or
Stockholm's
exactly.
city library. Big, big,
Mm,
big ceiling.
yeah.
Mm.
But I also love finding cafes, and then it's often on the southern part of the city. I think it's nice to have a cafe to be at, and be away from your usual
Mm.
surroundings. So we had just we said, oh, but we could meet at Mötesplatz Mariatorget, which is in the middle of the square. And because we were like, oh, you could sit both outside and inside there. So it wasn't a place that was common for either of us, but I think we were in the same mindset of yeah, just finding a place for the day. Mm.
Okay, you were saying that they were already set up.
Yeah, they had their computer and they were eating food at the same time, which
Mm.
it was so fun because I also thought for me it's either or a lot. Like I try to have my meals as meals. So, but then she recommended what she was eating, so I sat in front of her while she was half working, and then I ate my food, but we talked. Um, talked, and then there it was more. And then apropos Meta, then it was really fun because she was working on her computer eating, but we were talking private stuff. And then afterwards, we took the plates away and took a cup of coffee, and then we worked in front of each other. So then it was more related to work stuff. And it's so nice when you sit also with a colleague because you can always then you get a thought and then you can talk about it together or just like what does this feel harsh? I need to send this email or yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's always nice to have like to not feel alone in so much of the stuff we do,
Yeah.
especially yeah, like emails and different things that can be really tricky. It's not what we're practiced in. We're practiced in this live contextual stuff.
Yeah.
So what do you eat? Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Now, maybe I was thinking about this co-working together, but maybe it's too early. I mean, how do you kind of sense the moment where you want to interrupt someone working, when you or synchronized in a pose together? How is that really, you know?
I think it depends a lot. I in this situation it was clear that we are not used to do it together. So so it was also more. I think I am a person that when I get into my zone, I need to be just focused on that. And normally I have my headphones on, I have music in my ears. I'm really just in my own bubble. And here, surprisingly enough, there was people around us speaking Finnish, so then it wasn't too distracting that there was other people speaking. And I think at that time, I knew that she was gonna leave at 1 because now we are at around 11:45, and then I think my thought was more like I will not be as effective as I would have been if I was on my own, but I weighed more this possibility of talking also a little bit. So I think in my own head I was like, yeah, then I will take it easy right now and maybe do stuff that doesn't require my full concentration. But with people I worked a lot, I often be like, I need to ask you something, tell me when you are in that mindset. And then it can be like that you are working on what you're doing, and then when you're done with something, you can be, now I can listen. Or I'm not so good at this like interrupting the flow because flow, I think, it's one of the most important things when you're working on the computer because it's boring otherwise. It's nice to get into a flow. Or I think it's really heavy to work so much on your computer if you cannot find flow moments. Then everything is like, I need to do this, I need to do this. And I think you need to find a way to like having it like that one task leads to the next instead of interrupting because it's so many small tasks. It's not one big task often. Yeah.
I think Lisa Schulman once said to me, she was like, the problem isn't Instagram or social media. The problem is how it interrupts our flow. Like it would be fine if we spent like had flow time on social media, but we tend not to use it in that way. We get sort of interrupted by notifications and stuff. So then we never fully in a flow. I don't know, it reminds me of that. It's nice. And so how are you working? You're going through your to-do list? Like what is the work? Like emails or
Yeah, no.
applications?
Right. Yesterday it was I held with a colleague a course in the weekend. We had a dance course for people with different disabilities or functional variations. And we needed to end up that course. So we were writing like an evaluation between us. So I was writing on that. And then when I was done with that, I was I was planning. I'm traveling to Denmark in August because I got some travel money to work with a colleague. And then we were planning the journeys. I was booking trains and trying to understand how and when and why, maybe also. No, not why. I know why, but and it's so strange because right now she is in the US touring, so it has been really hard to plan because we got the notification of this money that we received last week when I was on holiday, and I was almost afraid that because they were asking me for information, I was like, oh, but I really want to be on holiday right now. I hope that it's okay that I answer in 5 days instead of right now. And luckily, I think the deadline to get back to them, otherwise I would have lost it. It was the day after tomorrow. So it was really like, okay, I also only had a week. So I was answering them with the information they needed, and I'm trying to understand with my colleague how and when we will meet in August. But she's also on tour, so she's working right now a lot, and now I'm just starting to plan and hoping that it's the right decisions I'm making. I think so. We have already, of course, we have already planted the I don't know the frames of the project, but we'll see.
That's exciting. I mean, it's all these preparatory works. I mean, that establish the sort of possibilities of a project. I don't know. I know it's like almost a taboo, or it's like sort of like but like for me, budgets and scheduling time can be so like fulfilling, because then I know the parameters of what I can do. You know, like I only have 2 t-shirts that I can afford. So then I have to dance with just the 2 t-shirts or something. It's silly, but I find it really generative sometimes to like, all right, these are the conditions. Fun. All right, so how does your working go? Like, when do you finish? Like, you've eaten,
I've
had
eaten,
coffee.
and then after a while this colleague leaves, and then I get a little bit more into a flow, and then I think I work for an hour. I end up I wanted to update the dates on my website. I have a little part where it's written what is the next things coming, and
you have
I
an
wanted to
amazing
update
website.
that.
It's very
Thank
nice.
you. Yeah. It's one of the perks of being a freelancer is that I have studied multimedia and graphic design before. So like the small things that you need to do it's a long time ago, but it feels really nice to be able to do your own flyers.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that is really tiring if you don't know how to do it. Yeah. So good tip to like combine the competences. Always nice to have some graphical design background.
I mean, it's also the thing of like that like the necessity of it, like, because it sometimes feels like, oh, do I really want to expose myself like this? Do I need to, what kind of aesthetic, what kind of thing am I promoting by working in this way? But it in some level, it's just another form of communication and listening and responding. Me and Yari talk about my website often, because Yari doesn't have a website, and I have a website which I put everything onto.
But yours also feels really diary based in some kind of way.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, I'm playing with the form and trying to somehow like but it's always a question. And then like, yeah, the regularity of updates and like the purpose of it. Yeah, it's interesting. Sorry.
No, I think for me it's really like it has come out of a practical necessity about the fact that a lot of the people I'm working with doesn't have Facebook, doesn't have Instagram. I work a lot with senior groups as well, and if you don't have a website, they don't know anything. And then it has come out of that necessity, and then also at the same time I really longed for having somewhere I could refer to that wasn't social media.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I think my Instagram profile is probably the most updated, but this feeling of being like, but there is everything you need to know on our website. And then when you write funding applications, you need often to have a website as well. And then, and that's why I've done it. But it is mainly because I work a lot with people that doesn't have social media. Yeah.
Nice.
And then you
The
need
flyers
another
also,
window.
it sounds very, wow, so beautifully old style. So beautifully, like how can reach people? How people can touch that paper you touch. I don't know, or you did. There is something that as a medium very touch-based.
I'm really struggling with understanding how to reach the generation that is more on TikTok. That's another because I'm not there. And also but this younger generation, I hope that I think word of mouth is the best way there. But I'm fascinated around it. I'm trying to understand how to reach people that are under 18 because I cannot understand it right now. But
there's almost a question of like for that, or is it a question for that? Is it always a question of that? Because like I have to wonder if it's like a question of entry. How do you enter into this interest or this field or this specific topic? Like how do you find it? I mean, like what we're learning by the way the internet is sort of like forming itself is that there's so many niches and there's always an interest somewhere. There's always like a small fandom of something somewhere. At least that's the feeling. So
definitely.
how do those things emerge? How do you provide easy access, or like how do you? I mean, and sometimes maybe it's the thing of like we always presume to provide something as a professional, we need to lead. But in fact, perhaps there's a lot to be said for following as much as leading.
Definitely.
That to be a fan is to produce a fandom, and that fandom can even be sort of self-referential, and it provides an ecosystem, an ecology, which supports the interests of that niche subculture or something.
I think also it is a little bit what I've been trying to do with people with functional variations, that I'm like, I have done different projects that have involved the group as a target group, I mean, and then I've been so not frustrated, but a little bit disappointed about what type of offerings there is in the city or in Sweden generally, and then I decided to see, okay, but I would really love to see it from the perspectives of the people I'm trying to reach or work with. So I searched for a position as a personal assistant, and then I got that position, and it was really, and it has been I'm so glad that I have the possibility to come into that world from that perspective and being with this person and trying to navigate also the different offerings and see how it is for this collaboration or this person to enter into the dance field, instead of trying from the other side to just be like, yeah, you're super welcome here, or it is really giving, and I hope that I can integrate some of this that I'm learning also in how I work, and also it is already integrated, of course, because I'm doing it and reflecting, but it's the same with young people. I feel it's interesting to be there waving and be like, hey, come here, it's interesting, instead of just going where they are and see what they are interested in, and see, okay, but how does what I do or what I'm interested in, that this is what I'm trying to also, or what I'm learning with younger people, that for me it's enough to just show that I'm interested in it. I'm not trying to buy them. I'm not trying to say you should be, but I'm trying to show as much as I can that I'm interested. And then you find other people that are interested as well. And then, but if you are in the group, you can be interested about something with them. And then it's also answering a question on why we do what we do, in our lives generally. And then if I have to answer the question in why do I dance, or why I dance because I want to move with people. I don't dance only with myself and of course now it has become a need to also dance with myself and with my own body in a room where there is no people, because my body sometimes needs to move that way. But mainly I dance to meet people and to be able to be with them without having to talk with them, and to have a frame structure to be able to be in contact with them. And often then that is happening to live music. And in that sense, I get to meet people in a pulse that is not predictable. Or it is predictable, but it's not stuck. And then I think the conversation is easier to get flowing movement-wise.
Oh, so many amazing keywords there. It was really beautiful, predictable, stuck, flow, really beautiful. It's so funny, you and Yari have such a similarity, because you both work with personal assistants and both interested in following, leading the questions around it.
Both Italians.
Exactly. Both interested in social dancing.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
What did you do after the work when you left?
I left, and then I walked to Medborgarplatsen, like maybe 10 minutes walk through the city. So through the center of the city, I was gonna I needed to return the keys that we used during the weekend for this course. So I went to the offices of Studieförbundet Vuxenskolan, which is located at this central square. And so I went through this summer vacation feeling, and I thought, I want to buy an ice cream later. I need an ice cream later. And then I came to the offices, and you have to ring a bell, and then I was let into this building, and met the person working for this organization that has helped us arrange this course. And I left the keys, and we evaluated a little bit the weekend for, I think, 10 minutes. We stood there and talked a little bit about which possibilities there is in the future, and just informally checked in with each other. And then I filled up my water bottle, because it is so warm right now. And I went outside, and I went, where did I go? Yeah, I needed to buy some stuff. I have had this dream of having a thermos cup to get my tea with me or my coffee with me when I am working around. So I went to a shop to buy that. And then I went, I needed to buy also some with this vegan supermarket. I need to buy soap for my showers in the morning. So
Yeah.
I went. It was a practical time there. I had music in the ears, and I went to buy the thermos mug, and then I went to buy the soap, and
Did you
then
know
yeah.
this day was going to be so efficient and effective? Like it's so like it's perfectly planned, you know, there's this sort of like movement of like efficiency and getting things done. Like I just see your to-do list getting like and it's so satisfying. I'm like, and then the passport is done, and then I get some work done, and then I
Yeah.
drop off the keys and we do a little wrap up, you know, like there's a
Mm,
reportage and then there is I get to go to the furnace and I get this done and then,
mm,
then to good store or sorry to the vegan
mm.
superstore and
Yeah,
get
exactly.
soap and
But it's
wow.
fun. I think yes and no. I knew I needed to have things done.
Mm,
So there was some part of me that knew that I needed to be on top of my energy. But another part of me, and you haven't even come to the rest of the day. Like I feel there was so many spontaneous things happening that I really wasn't expecting. That
mm,
that also, I think I was open also to
mm,
receive
mm.
yesterday and to
So,
be.
so it's a little bit part like, oh, I'm in this area. It makes
Mm,
sense to do this now, right?
yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And follow the need also. I try to follow, especially in these days where you need to do a lot of office work, but it's also half my free day.
Mm,
So it's also a little bit like, okay, but I need to get these things done also when I am free and I'm in the area. So I
I
went
mean,
into, yeah.
yeah, I mean, even just the thing that this meeting this friend who then you
Hmm.
share office time with,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
it's complete happenstance. This was not
Yeah,
arranged. Yeah, so
definitely.
you're right. Like, oh, that's so beautiful to see such. I mean, I really was like just like listening back to it, I was seeing it as so well choreographed, like this
Hmm.
articulation, like efficiency, I was saying, effectiveness. And yet, yeah, as you say, it was born out of openness, but also practice, right? Like you have
Hmm.
this thing of going through your to-do lists and stuff. I forget when
Mm.
that happened, but early in the morning. And
When I
yeah,
needed to get clothes on, yes.
yeah, the clothes. Yeah,
Hmm.
that, yeah.
Definitely. I think I also have perfected over the years a to-do list system.
Mm,
I think it's when you work with so many different things, and I'm a person also that loves getting new ideas. Or I am a producer of ideas in some periods, and then I need to in some kind of way I need to have something that keeps me in balance or it keeps me on a track because otherwise I would have done or I can easily go in 100 different directions at the same time. And to protect myself also from burnout, I need to
mm,
be a little bit more structured and and understand, okay, but what needs to be done now and what can wait. And also because spontaneity, how do you call it? To be
yeah,
spontaneous,
yeah,
it's a an important part in how I also feel that I can feel good in my life. But how can you be spontaneous when you are planning every single detail? And I am planning like my work life is planned until January right now. I know what I would do every single day until January. That feels crazy. I've never been in
yeah,
this situation.
yeah,
Uh, but but at the same time, and at the same time, it also feels like then I can rest in the fact that every other work thing I will plan after, and then I can be a little bit more open in my everyday life.
yeah,
Or and also this, I have had the need to say I only work from 9 to 5.
yeah,
Unless I have something like that is practical work-wise planned in other hours, I don't, I never sit with my computer in the evening and work.
mm,
If of course, if you need to send in an application, but I really try not to. And the more you practice that, the more you don't even think about, oh, I could be sending emails now.
mm, yeah,
Yeah, because it's after 5. I'm not sending emails now. I will
mm,
send them tomorrow.
Yeah, I can be the worst for that. Like
Mm.
me and Yari, like, oh shit, I forgot. Like even did this. I think I did this at almost midnight. Uh,
Mm.
Cynthia, oh shit, I forgot to tell you the link to the Zoom meeting. So,
Mm. Yeah.
but it's
But it's also
fascinating to
how
hear that
people work
practice.
themselves.
Yeah,
And
exactly, right. It's a developing practice.
mm.
Yeah. So you,
And
sorry, you
also I
was,
think this works because I haven't right now I'm also in a situation where nobody else needs to depend on my schedule. It's
yeah.
my own schedule and my own routines and rhythms, and then I interact with people in it, but I don't need to share a schedule with somebody else. And then it's possible to be a little bit more like
Mm.
on it, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Um, yeah, I was in the good store, if that's what you were saying, like where I was in the, yeah. And then I came out, and then it was really funny because then a person waved at me, and it was one of my other colleagues, a musician, that were picking up her children from school.
Wow.
So, and this musician was curious about how the weekend was and how the course went. So we talked a little bit about that. And that was also, you catch up. It's also a friend, but it's mainly a colleague. And then you catch up and then you talk work directly.
Yeah.
And then, but we only talked, I think, 10 minutes. And then I went on and I went to,
And you find that like these little like because these little catch-ups, you've done it
mm,
3 times now today.
yeah,
Like, and with each person, you probably retell in a different way, or it
mm,
informs what you focus on or what you attend to each time.
definitely. Yeah.
It's interesting how the person acts as like a materiality in your artistic process, perhaps.
Mm, definitely. And also the fact that I feel also I understand the material better every time I talk with people about it. And it's for me, it's an important part of processing what I think about when I work, or what is I don't know, how do you call it when something is not completely gliding or being in flow, but what is in this
Friction.
situation? Yeah, what is like having friction between,
Mm, yeah.
or what I'm
Mm.
stuck in my mind. Then I
Mm.
realize it when I talk with people about it. Yeah, yeah, I. It was interesting also because there was the perfect temperature. I also really felt I was on a roll in that moment. And I went to that store, and then I have been searching for um, a top as well. So I went also in a secondhand store. And then my phone was dying, so I asked them if I could charge it. So it was fun, this feeling of having my phone charged in a corner. I can be pretty not only trustful, but a little bit naive also with my stuff. It was really like close to the entrance where everybody comes through and nobody was checking it. But I left my phone there, and then I went into the store and were around, and yeah. And just I love the I talked with a friend about this the other day. I love the fact of going to secondhand stores. It's not about buying, it's about a sense a tactile experience.
Mm,
Also, it's completely different than a normal shop because here you have so many different consistencies, and
mm.
often it's a way also to be in sensation and not being in thought, to go around and just feel stuff or like touch different materials. And then it's another way of scrolling,
Yeah.
and I really like this physical way of scrolling, like to pass through stuff. And then
Mm.
I went out and I was on my way home then. I needed to go home and clean at home.
Ah, not
It
just
was
because your phone is dying.
no, because then it was charged, you know. I was in the store. I think I was there for 40 minutes or something like that.
Wow.
It
And
was
it
a
really
long
was this
time.
sensorial play with
Mm,
material. And
yeah.
I love this. And of course, it connects also to your to-do list in a weird
Mm,
roundabout way of like this practicality, functionality. What does it do? What does it perform for you?
mm,
How does it fit into your day, into your life?
mm.
Mm.
But you were also not listening, probably maybe for the first time in the day because your phone was dead or
Exactly.
something.
So I
You
wasn't
had
listening to music. I was
no.
just listening to the store. I think the store had some music on, but not a lot. But in this type, there was a lot of people in there, so a lot of people like talking with each other. And there was a Danish family. It's always fun in Stockholm. You have a lot of different people. Like it's so often that you also meet Italian people or Danish people, and that
Mm.
can get your attention in some kind of way when you know.
Or you're um, working amongst Finnish speakers, and so then
Exactly.
you can not listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was your way back home? Did you do the same usual ritual, put in the headphones, listening music, or now that the music that the phone was restarted, you had a
Yeah,
different
I
kind
think
of
so. I don't remember actually, but I would imagine that I did. I normally also I've got with the years I've got more sensitive to noise. And I also feel even if I'm not listening to music, I put my headphones on often on the subway to just be a little bit more quiet. And if I don't have my headphones in, I always have in my key change my earplugs. And it's not about shutting everything out, but it's just I can really get overstimulated by a lot of sound. So yeah, I think I had music on again. And then
It's interesting
yeah,
because earlier you were speaking about the figure of the person with no headphones on who maybe
mm,
overhears your conversation.
yeah,
And so in relationship to that, you're one of the headphones people. You're not one
mm,
of the listening
no,
people. Yeah.
but that's also the fact with I feel it's so strange sometimes because the headphone, the fact that I have the headphones on doesn't need necessarily to mean that there is something in them.
No.
Sometimes it's also just that I am trying to dampen a little bit the
Right.
like level of sound. And then it's become, I could listen anyhow, but then it's also so strange because a person, you wouldn't expect a person with headphones on to be listening to you, you know?
Exactly.
So I also feel it becomes an ethical aspect, you know, can I just be listening to people here with my headphones on? But yeah, so I feel but at least I try to not shut in myself. Like, you know, I try to not be the figure that has the phone and the headphones. That is
Hmm.
completely, if I have my headphones on, I try to be receptive visually on what is happening around me or present there for others. Yeah.
Hmm. Interesting.
Mhm.
how was the walking from Breding and Tibana to home?
I came to that, so the subway, and then I went in and bought dinner. So I bought something to make for dinner, and then I walked home with this. Then I had, because suddenly I had bought things, you know. So then I had a little bit of a heavier backpack and a bag on one side and a bag on the other. So it was a little bit heavier. And then I came home, and on the way home, I got a call from some friends in Denmark that were we have been lifting like
Hitchhiking.
hitchhiked from middle of Sweden. They were hitchhiking to Stockholm, and they asked if we had a space where they could sleep, or they could sleep at our place. And I was like, yeah, yeah, you are welcome. So I knew then I was like, okay, now I need to clean and then eat and clean, and then they will come afterwards. So it
Oh,
was
so you
my
didn't
effective.
you didn't know you were going to be cleaning because it felt like a plan.
Yeah, no, the plan, it was a plan to clean. We have had, how do you call it? Moths in our kitchen. And I
Yeah.
have been on vacation and I was like, I need to get everything out, this deep cleaning of the kitchen.
Hmm.
So it was still on my to-do list that I was like, we need to have music on. I had invited all my roomies to a moth party that were starting at 6, but then I was late, so then it started at 7. So then we had music on to eradicate the beasts,
Wow.
the insects.
But you haven't eaten yet. You're
Yeah,
cleaning and then you're
I was
okay.
hungry, so I ate first. I came
Okay.
home and I made dinner, ate
What are you
dinner.
eating? Can I
I,
ask?
I was eating a potato salad,
Hmm.
and then I was eating a, a substitute for chicken. Yeah, and
Nice.
cucumbers,
Nice.
something fresh. Mm. Eating a lot of water. I were drinking a lot of water,
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
we started.
yeah. Tell me about this party. So,
Yeah,
so your
Sounds so
hitchhiking friend hasn't
exciting. I mean,
arrived
I
yet.
must say,
it was
it
a
sounds
really.
very exciting party.
You need to
I,
make
I
something
usually
good
don't
out of
like
it.
I usually don't like parties, but this sounds like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I wish I could be
Mm.
there.
It started with music, So
Mm.
so my roomie put music in the speaker, and it was also fun. It was this like Swedish indie pop that I almost don't know a single tune. It's so
Wow.
much cultural references that I don't know. But it was really fun, and I was like, okay, but you're enjoying this, and I enjoyed the vibe, so that felt really good. And then we started taking everything out of all the cupboards and having to put everything in glass jars instead.
Mm.
So we did
Oh, so
that.
that it's like, yeah, protected from the moths.
Exactly.
I see.
And then a lot of vacuuming around.
Mm. And is it a kind of dance? I mean, you have
Yeah, it was
music, it
definitely.
seems really
Yeah.
important. You say the cultural references, and then
Yeah.
like there's this like collective activity. You're gathering, you're listening to each other. There's a
Mm.
materiality.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt really creative. It felt joyful.
Mm.
And this creative and joyful feels like two things that I associate a lot with dance as well. And the fact
Mm.
that there was music and we were together. And there was definitely some, then when there is music on, then you maybe, when you go from the table to the cupboard, then you maybe have a little, like you have a swag and you walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's nice.
I love it.
How many people were you?
We were 4, yes, cleaning. And then my friends came while we were still cleaning. So I put them. We have like an outside terrace here, so I put them outside with some snacks. I was like, we will be here in half an hour,
Wow.
and then they enjoyed themselves and rested. And
You're
then
such a
we.
great host.
Yeah.
You weren't like, hey, get in the kitchen.
And help
they
out.
they off they offered to help, but
Of
we
course.
were enough people in that kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, and
Mm.
this is your openness. I can't believe this day. You're
Mm.
just open and a call comes and you're like hitchhiking friends. Yeah, cool, come. The moths have caused you to do this deep clean, which has arrived in this collective dance.
Yeah.
It's very special. All right,
Mm.
so then you've cleaned, they have
Yeah.
snacks. What next?
Mm. Then we decided that because my colleague had invited to look at, they are living also in Reading, and they were looking at the match, the football match. And I'm really not a person that looks so much at football matches,
And
but
it was a Swedish game yesterday, right?
yeah,
Sweden
exactly.
versus
Yeah.
France.
Mhm. Yeah, but I love to take a swim, and there is water here, so we decided to go for a swim instead first. So we went for a swim,
And this
and
is quite late in the evening now.
yeah,
So even though it's
now it's
summer, it's
11. Yeah, it
The
was quite
sun
dark.
is, yeah.
Yeah, it was 11 in the evening, and you walk through the woods to get to the water here. So we were also walking through the woods, and I asked them
Wow.
if it was how it was, even if it was dark, and they were like, "Are you afraid?" I was like, "No, I think it works. I know this road." And then it was really nice, and also these people that were here, they are from the dancing environment for me, so that was also talking about work and dancing,
Yeah.
and this is the conversation that we have. And a lot about projects and things that has happened and will happen, and catching up a lot. And then we went down and took a swim, and there was nobody around. It was really lovely to have the warm water. I love this
Mm.
feeling of being in water. I think it's the same that with the shower, that you get to go in your body and be there. And then
And is it a
yeah,
lake? You're in a lake? Sorry, I want to stay a little bit longer with the water.
definitely, yeah, we can stay in the water. It's Mälaren. I think it's a lake, but it also goes out into the skärgård.
Yeah,
So it
into the
feels it
archipelago.
feels a little bit more when you look at it like a river, but it is a
Mm.
lake, I think. But you can see the other side, and there was a little bit of light, so we went through these woods, and then when we come down to the water, it was like a little beach, but not. But we didn't want to be through like between other people, also because none of us had bathing suits on or anything. So we were like, oh, we find a place that is only for ourselves, and then there is a lot of mosquitoes above the surface of the water, so you need to be under as much as possible. And then we went in and swam around. And then after that, we just sat with our towels and looked out. It was really calming to look at the waves as well. There was one boat that came by, uh, but they're just talking.
Yeah, and you're still talking about work and
Mm,
reflecting.
yeah.
I mean, I mean, already I know you, Leonora. You're so like so self-aware in a way, or like you have such a critical and well-articulated practice and mind. I'm sure this isn't wholly true, especially for you experiencing your own self.
Mm,
But like, but it feels so beautiful, especially this day where you have all these points of reflection and conversation, and
mm. I think it's
it's so
interesting,
rich.
like this separation between a part of me knows that I work when I work, like that I have this 9 to 5 structures and schedules and everything. But at the same time, it's also true that my work is so intertwined with my private life. Almost
Yeah,
all my friends are also my colleagues. Almost all my colleagues are also my friends. And also this feeling of that there is almost nothing more that I would like to talk about.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it is a way of experiencing the world and existence and connection that I feel, even if it's so clear, for example, when I visit my family in Italy, that I'm not talking about work the whole day.
Mm,
And while in Sweden or in my everyday life, also because I maybe talk with my roommates about work or something, I live with a dancer as well. And it's this feeling of it's so present in how I experience my day,
mm.
what I am interested in, and how it can take form in different shapes or ways. But at the same time, I also know when I'm working, if
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah, it's
Mm,
beautiful.
Yeah.
it is. I mean, me and Peter were very busy very often to think about the relationship between work and dance and how
Mm,
we can still have different dances that is not work, or even to not be busy with dance only at work. I mean,
Mm.
theater practices are wonderful for that. Yeah, it's inspiring. It's inspiring to listen to you when you speak about that. It sounds also very flowing and at the same times also choreographed.
Mm. Yeah, it's also sometimes now that you say choreographed in that sense, I feel it's a little bit this way of choreographing where you see what it's there and then you choose that to be a part of the choreography instead of going against it, you know? That it feels like this type of work that it's always like always seeing what is around you as a meaningful part of what is happening and not try to counter work it but work with it and continue from that. And I think in that sense you can really choose to think about it as everything should be there or is welcome because it came then it should be there.
Yeah. Yeah, I can yeah, amazing. So nicely put. All
And
right.
how did you
Yeah.
finish your day? How did you
Yeah,
prepare yourself for the end?
exactly. Yeah, from there because there was still this other colleague with her friends that has invited for the match. So we were like, oh, but we could look or we could come by and just say hi before we go home. So we went from the water to them and said hi. I think we were there half an hour and saw the end of the match and then walked home. And then the time is like, at this time we are at 12:30. So that's what I meant this morning when I was like, yeah, it has been a long day yesterday. I'm still tired. But then I think we were at home at 1:15. And then
Wow.
I was so tired that it was really like I think we came home. I I had already made the bed to these people, so I showed them where they could sleep, and then I went upstairs. I live upstairs in our house, and then I went upstairs and brushed my teeth. And then I went into bed, and fortunately I was so tired because normally I have a little bit troubles falling asleep. So I looked at my phone a little bit, but then I just passed out and slept. Until this morning I had an alarm. Not yesterday, but this morning I was like, I need to be up.
Was it for us?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm.
Are you yeah, you must be exhausted. My God, what a full day. And
Mm.
a day that is so open. I mean, we all know this. I think as dancers, like it can be quite exhausting to be open and to listen and be truly present, but it can also be so rewarding as well. And it can generate energy, but that's a lot for a day. That's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mm. It is. Should we dance
Yeah,
That feels like
again?
a good idea.
yeah, but thank you so much, Leonora. And we will link to your website and your
Thank you.
Instagram in the
Mm.
description. Yeah, this was such a
Is
pleasure.
it possible in some kind of, I right now when you said should we dance, like a song popped in my mind, but is it even possible, like technologically wise, if I put it on? Or how do you
Yeah,
think? Or should one
yeah.
of you put
Do
it
you think
on?
we have copyright issues? That's the question.
Oh, that's the question.
I can put it on. You want to send it in
But
the
You
send it in the
can.
chat.
We can also put something else after.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
It's
true.
just for
And
us
yeah,
now.
yeah, and we can tell people what it is, and then they can listen to it
Yeah,
elsewhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I can write it to you in the chat
Okay.
because I have Tidal. I don't have Spotify, so I cannot send a link.
Okay. That's great.
Um,
I'm so curious. We don't know what it is. What is the
No, we
music that
don't.
represents this day? And I wonder, were you listening to it at all yesterday? Is it something?
no,
No.
I don't know
Yeah,
So
why
it's
it came
even
out
sort of
here.
inspired, yeah.
it's
Inspired
the
by this.
Yeah,
aftertaste.
yeah.
So is it the whole, yeah, okay. Nice.
Yeah, the after the little dot is the name of the artist.
Yeah.
Kiel Erik Eriksson.
Kjell-Erik Eriksson, and it's called
Kjell-Erik
TV-valsen.
TV-valsen.
And
Okay.
apparently it's a tune from Jämtland, which is a region in Sweden that is close to the border to Norway. And it's called TV Waltz because apparently a big fiddler was playing it on TV. Like it's not dedicated to a TV, but was playing it while recorded and yeah. Put on TV.
All right, let me see if it plays.
It's so fun, like it stops sometimes and then it like stretches. It's really good.
I think it's the internet connection.
But it's really funny. It's a good way of like re-elaborating.
Oh,